What's going on, y'all? Fab Guy here. Just did limit straps and went the po' boy route, deviate bump stops. This is a 2021 JL. You can see how I did the adjustable clevises, and then I had an extra bolt hole there. Looks like they had the shocks here at some point, but obviously they'd hit the frame. They're really close up there at a full droop. Really happy with how this came out. And you may ask, why did you put limit straps on it? Well, let me show you. So these guys that claim 15 inches of travel out of these Evo front ends, they're full of shit. And here's why. So I got rock crawler joints, steering, tie rod, drag link, and these tie rod ends articulate more than OEM factory. So take a look at that. So on the right hand side, you see the shaft and the inside of that race. They are not touching. That's what you want. They're not bound up. At full droop without straps, this thing was in a full bind. And what does that mean when you're on the trail and you flex it out, or you go through whoops and your tires come off the ground? You will end up blowing these out. See? Clearance. Look inside. It's hard to see with all that grease, but we got clearance. That's what you want. Bump stops, pretty straightforward install. You just hack these puppies off according to the dimensions. And I got 11 3/4 inches of travel right now. I just did the soft pucks like I'm gonna do in the rear, 1 inch. I think I can remove these. I didn't run this through full bump yet, so I'm just going off measurements and dimensions. It's really close. I may go flex it out in the desert and go from there. A little worried. That's why I got some grease on here. I'm a little worried when this bottoms out, it's gonna kind of catch on this. These aren't sticky, but I'm wondering if they'll glide well enough as the front end moves side to side at full bump. Super happy. I really need to run it through its travel and full bump because I'm worried about clearance here. I think I have plenty of room. I ran it at full bump with the old bump stops, and I had plenty of clearance with this new Synergy track bar. Really happy with that as compared to the Evo. The Evo track bar, this thing was like ridiculously bent upwards for some reason, probably to clear any and every diff cover that possibly exists. What else do I got going on? In the process of adjusting my front arms, I need to take some caster out of it. It's got 7.2 degrees of caster. And yeah, sounds good for stability on the road if you're mall crawling. But my U-joint angle was not favorable. Not terrible right now at full droop. Before it was horrendous. It was so bad I was afraid to put it in 4-wheel drive. But that's how this thing looks. Not a huge fan of these. I mean, it's a good idea in theory. Synergy adjustable sleeves instead of jam nuts with the pinch bolts. But they're just hard to adjust. You got to go back and forth, driver side, passenger side, driver side, passenger side. Just keep inching them so you're not fighting the front end with the 4-link. But we'll see how it does. It's got the Evo no limits manual sway bar release. Now, why did I do that? Because at 25 miles an hour in the desert, my sway bar is reconnecting, and I don't want that, and I don't like that. So far, so good. I'll keep you guys posted. Got the FAD Barnes 4-wheel drive skid plate. Wondering about doing the oil pan and the transmission pan, but I'm not crawling hard enough yet. The only thing I've done is a 7 out of 10 on Onyx maps, according to them. So maybe if I hit an 8 or 9, I'd like to do Motino wash. That's a 9 out of 10. So yeah, maybe I need some skid plates. I also have to replace this bushing. Yeah, it's hard to see. There, you can see it. It's torn there. I just talked to T&J's Off-Road, and they suggested putting the Johnny joints in the front axle housing. I think it's like $226 for the kit. So I think I'm going to go that route, and this front end should be buttoned up, aside from maybe I'll TIG weld this metal cloak stabilizer bracket in to act like a weld washer, and then just put a weld washer on the inside. I'd like to make my own track bar one of these days and just use 5/8 bolts. I hate this metric BS. These are 14 millimeter, I think, so just 15 thousandths under 9/16. Can't get a stabilizer on this thing, which concerns me that high steer is not going to work once I go hydraulic PSC. Reason being is this rock crawler drag link has no bend in it. The bend is in the knuckle, but they minimized this bend because people were breaking the 1.25" tie rod ends. They were shearing the threads here, and because the threads are like ridiculously long, I don't know why. So people are running a 2-inch drag link, but then you're going to have collision issues. These are 1.75", more favorable in my opinion. Less things to collide. Like I said, I'm already colliding. I made a stabilizer bracket myself, kind of a wraparound deal, 2 tabs, and it's running into the drag link at full lock. So yeah, don't want to do that. But there you have it, guys. Super happy getting this thing dialed in. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Over and out. Take it easy.